Yao Ming's group watched Xiao Yan and Kai Lin suddenly disappear through torn space from the underground network. Their faces were all stunned. They did not understand why the two of them would leave in such a hurry. The Empty Realm is the territory of the ancient Void Dragon tribe. From Brother Xiao Yan's anxiousness, can it be that some trouble has once again appeared with the ancient dragon tribe? Yao Ming was not a fool. He made a guess after thinking about it. However, he currently had a mess to deal with and was unable to leave. All he could do was pray that Xiao Yan and Kai Lin would be able to resolve the trouble this time around with their strength. The both of you will fight until you end up seriously injured, which will end up benefiting my Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe in the future. Huang Tian in the sky looked at the spot where Xiao Yan and Kai Lin had disappeared. He coldly laughed in his heart. He quickly ceased remaining any longer. With a cold cry, he turned around and rushed into the distance. The other experts from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe hurriedly followed upon seeing him leave. They appeared a little dispirited. All of them were clearly aware that if Xiao Yan and Kai Lin had not suddenly left, it would likely not have been easy for them to withdraw without suffering any losses. The 9 serene deep ground python tribe did not stop the Heaven Demon Phoenix from withdrawing. They began to tidy up the mess of the battle while sighing in relief. The chaotic spatial flow within the empty realm was just like the large mouths of demons hidden in the darkness. They quietly appeared and forcefully shattered all the things they touched. Swoosh! 2 bright lights flashed by with great speed within the extremely quiet emptiness. The wild and violent airflow that the lights stirred caused the interior of the empty realm to continuously rumble. Xiao Yan's expression was gloomy as he unleashed his speed to the limit. Ever since they had defeated the 3 great dragon kings the last time around, the situation of the ancient Void Dragon clan favored the Eastern Dragon Island. It had not been impossible for them to complete the unification. Of course, the 3 great dragon kings, who had fled, might pose an obstruction to the tribe, but they were clearly unable to cause much trouble with their strengths. This line of reasoning had always been present within Xiao Yan's heart. However, the situation that had occurred today made him realize that he had underestimated the complexity of the matter. The dragon seal is becoming weaker. Ziyan seems to be in an extremely dire situation. Damn it, just what has happened to the ancient Void Dragon tribe? The direction the dragon seal is indicating is not the Eastern Dragon Island. It seems that Ziyan is not on the Eastern Dragon Island. Xiao Yan tightly clenched his fist. He quickly suppressed the fury in his heart. The green-red bone wings on his back were flapped. His speed was increased once again as he wildly rushed in the direction indicated by the dragon seal. Kai Lin could only helplessly shake her head after seeing Xiao Yan speed off from behind. She did not say anything as she hurriedly followed. A blood light surged from a certain spot in the empty realm. The scent of blood could be clearly sniffed even 10,000 feet away. The source of the blood light was a large island floating in the empty realm. The island was filled with a scarlet color, as though the island had been dyed in blood, giving it a sinister appearance. Many figures were clustered together in the distant sky of the huge island, encircling this island and allowing nothing to pass. These people reveal frightened and gloomy expressions. A fury surged within their eyes as they looked at the Dragon Island. Dragon transforming demon formation. This bastard Northern Dragon King. The dragon transforming demon formation is a forbidden technique of our ancient dragon which had been destroyed thousands of years ago. How is it possible for him to use it? A white-haired elder in the sky above the island angrily roared. Those elders from the Eastern Dragon Island by the side became quiet after hearing this. They had only heard rumors about this forbidden technique. The person who had managed this secret technique of the ancient dragon tribe was the Northern Dragon King's great-grandfather. The dragon transforming demon formation was also destroyed by him. However, no one can be certain if he had privately kept it Elder Zhuli hesitated and replied. The dragon transforming demon formation was a forbidden technique of the ancient void dragon tribe. This formation was created by an extraordinarily powerful expert from the tribe back then. Once this formation was formed, everyone inside, other than the person at the center of the formation, would be shattered into pools of blood. Finally, they would be devoured and absorbed by the center of the formation. Thus, the strength of that person would soar greatly, but this formation was far too bloody and cruel. Hence, it was classified as a forbidden technique and subsequently destroyed. No one had expected that this northern dragon king knew how to use it. Moreover, the thing that caused one's scalp to turn numb was that this lunatic had actually activated the formation across the entire northern Dragon Island. It should be known that many experts from the 3 Dragon Islands had gathered here because of their alliance. Other than a small number of experts on the island, the majority had been turned into pools of blood and devoured by the northern dragon king at the center of the formation. After devouring so many tribe members, the strength of the northern dragon king had already reached a relatively frightening level. Ha ha, you naive and inexperienced girl. This king was originally planning on allowing you to live longer. Unexpectedly, you actually dared to lead an army and attack. It's just as well. This king has an insufficient number of sacrifices. If I devour you, my bloodline will definitely surpass all the ancestors of the ancient void dragon tribe. Haha. At that time, this king will be the strongest person in the history of the ancient void dragon tribe. The dense blood light contained a bloody scent as it surrounded the huge island. While Zhuli and the rest did not dare step forward, that bloody light suddenly emitted a crazy laughter. A frightening energy ripple swept apart. The 2 human figures in an intense battle scattered the blood fog and appeared in front of many pairs of eyes. One of the 2 figures was Ziyan, but was not in a good state. Her face was pale, and her aura was a little weary. The liquid-like dragon-slaying sword in her hand had once again been summoned, but the dragon-slaying sword did not appear to be as powerful as last time. A half-human-like figure was present in front of Ziyan. His body was extremely strong. The muscles all over his body appeared as though they were alive as they continued to wiggle across his skin. Waves of blood flowed out of his pores while the flesh on his body wiggled. This caused him to appear like a blood person that looked ferocious and terrifying. There was a strangely large head on the blood person's shoulders. 3 faces were present on this head. Those 3 faces were the Western Dragon King, the Southern Dragon King, and the Northern Dragon King. 3 faces on a single head made one's stomach to churn.
Clang clang.
Those monster-like 3 faces parted their mouths. Blood continuously flowed out of the corner of their mouths. Those 6 scarlet eyes were filled with a wild beast-like violence. Additionally, the hand of the monster held a huge sword formed by golden liquid. However, the golden color was mixed with a dense blood color. Waves of metallic sounds erupted when it collided with the dragon-slaying sword in Ziyan's hand, but the monster did not fall into a disadvantage. Instead, the occasional stench forced Ziyan into a dangerous situation. Northern Dragon King, you bastard. The Western and Southern Dragon Kings are your allies, yet you did not even let them off. You actually devoured their physical bodies and souls, and have become such a monster. Ziyan's eyes contained a flame as they stared at the monster. Blood shoot from its body as she furiously cursed the Northern Dragon King. TSK, those 2 pieces of trash had been seriously injured by you. They would have difficulty becoming great even if they fully recovered. It is better if they help me. Although I have eaten their flesh, this king has promised to help take revenge. The face of the Northern Dragon King on the monster's head strangely laughed. The huge sword in his hand furiously hacked at Ziyan with lightning-like speed. The frightening wind forced Ziyan to pull back in defeat. After swallowing the Western and Southern Dragon King, He had relied on the transforming dragon-demon formation to absorb many experts on the island. The strength of the Northern Dragon King had already far surpassed Ziyan. If he was not a little afraid of the genuine dragon-slaying sword, Ziyan would have already died by the Northern Dragon King's hands. Ziyan clenched her silver teeth as she faced the crazy attack of the Northern Dragon King. She firmly endured. Due to the transforming dragon-demon formation, the experts from the Eastern Dragon Island did not dare to step inside. Otherwise, they would turn into a pool of blood if they entered and end up continuously strengthening the Northern Dragon King. Northern Dragon King, sooner or later your reasoning will be eroded by the bloodlust, and you will become a wild beast which only knows how to kill. Tisk, it's fine if I become a wild beast. The ancient Void Dragon tribe can only be reunified by this king. The Dragon Emperor can only be me. The strange laughter of the Northern Dragon King suddenly halted. His palms suddenly grabbed at the ground below him. The three ancient dragon tribe members on the ground with miserable expression were grabbed and lifted across space, after which they were treated as weapons as they were ruthlessly thrown at Ziyan. Dragon Emperor, aren't you planning on rescuing people? This king shall let you rescue your fill. Ziyan clenched her silver teeth. She glanced at the people wrapped in the blood light as they were thrown over. She quickly flew up and her hand slammed into the trio with lightning-like speed. A golden light surged and the strange blood light scattered. Subsequently, a wave of hidden force delivered the three of them out of the transforming dragon-demon formation. Tsk, what a good dragon emperor. Even this king is a little unwilling. Ziyan had just delivered the three of them away when the blood glow flashed. The Northern Dragon King appeared in front of her in a ghost-like fashion. A savage expression surged onto his dense face. His large hands, which were covered in blood, were smashed toward Ziyan's shoulder with lightning-like speed. Grug. A terrifying force surged into her body from her shoulder. The bloody vapor, which was filled with a rotting stench, immediately caused an intense pain throb from Ziyan's body. A mouthful of fresh blood was spat out as her delicate figure flew backwards in front of many anxious eyes. Everything is over. The ancient Void Dragon tribe belongs to me. The Northern Dragon King revealed a mad expression when he saw Ziyan's aura become completely sluggish. He let out a ferocious laugh as he strode forward, after which he appeared in front of Ziyan. His large hand subsequently grabbed her head. The experts from the Eastern Dragon Island outside the blood formation were extremely shocked after seeing Ziyan be picked up by her head. Their eyes reddened. Ha ha. The Northern Dragon King let out a strange laugh. However, the speed of his hand was not reduced. A pink flame suddenly rose from Ziyan's head just as his hand was about to land on her head. The terrifyingly high temperature caused the hand of the Northern Dragon King to halt. It froze in the air as his expression slowly turned gloomy. He slowly lifted his head and stared at the empty realm in front of him. His dense voice reverberated into the empty realm. Xiao Yan, show yourself. The furious cry of the Northern Dragon King resounded within this blood formation in a rumbling fashion. Finally, it spread into the distance. Puff! The pink flame, which appeared above Ziyan's head, swiftly spread after the Northern Dragon King's cry sounded. It transformed into a fire barrier that firmly wrapped around Ziyan. The blood fog spreading around her would emit a hissing sound and disappear upon contact with the fire barrier. Northern Dragon King, you are indeed the person causing trouble. The space beside Ziyan fluctuated after the fire barrier materialized. Immediately, two figures slowly appeared. These figures were Xiao Yan and Kailin, who had hurried over at full speed. It's Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's and Kailin's sudden appearance caught the attention of those members from the Eastern Dragon Island outside of the formation. Many joyous cries quickly sounded. Soon after, some elders once again became grave. Although they were aware that Xiao Yan was also an elite Do Sheng after their last meeting, the current situation was such that even an ordinary Do Sheng would end up dying. The hearts of many sank slightly upon thinking of death. TSK, that fellow Huang Tian is really useless. He has only managed to delay you for such a short amount of time. The scarlet eyes of the Northern Dragon King glared at Xiao Yan while everyone was quiet. He licked the blood off the corner of his mouth as he continued with a dense smile. However, it is fine. The situation has already been decided. You coming here is merely offering me a sacrifice. Xiao Yan's expression was calm. He glanced at the Northern Dragon King and paused on the three strange faces. Given his spiritual perception, he could guess why this person's strength had increased with just a glance. He slightly frowned. This person was actually this vicious. Cough. Ziyan by the side suddenly coughed out a mouthful of fresh blood, while Xiao Yan knit his brows. Her face was as pale as sheet. Blood swiftly spread from his shoulder and eroded her body. Although the Dragon Phoenix constitution was doing its best to endure, the waves of intense pain still caused Ziyan's expression grow paler. TSK, even though you possess the Dragon Phoenix constitution, even you will feel terrible after being struck by the transforming dragon demon formation. The Northern Dragon King let out a wild laugh at the sky after seeing the Ziyan's weakened state. He had almost transformed the entire population of the Northern Dragon Island into blood. It was only possible to turn the tables by paying such a frightening price. His heart was naturally incomparably happy after forcing Ziyan into such a miserable state. Why are the both of you here? Ziyan wiped the trace of blood off the corner of her mouth. Her pale face gave one a heartache. Her somewhat dim eyes glanced at Xiao Yan and Kai Lim as she bitterly said, "The matter this time around will not be as easily resolved as last time. This fellow has devoured the Western and Southern King, as well as the flesh of many tribe members. He has vaguely reached the 6th star of the Dosheng class." A 6-star Dosheng. Although Ziyan's strength had risen quickly during these 2 years, she had yet to break through to the 5th star of the Dosheng class. With her strength, she was unable to defeat the Northern Dragon King even with her Dragon Phoenix constitution. The gap between the 2 stars was really far too great. Xiao Yan smiled at her but did not reply. His hand was gently placed on Ziyan's shoulder, the one that radiated a bloody air from it. A faint pink flame was partially visible. He, attempting to expel the transforming dragon blood chi. "Do you think?" The Northern Dragon King coldly laughed upon seeing Xiao Yan's actions. However, his laughter had barely sounded when he was stunned to find tendrils of the blood chi swiftly rising from Ziyan's shoulder. Finally, they vanished into nothing. Heavenly flame? A shocked expression immediately flashed across the Northern Dragon King's eyes upon seeing these tendrils disappear. Only at this moment did he discover that the heavenly flame in Xiao Yan's hand appeared a little different from what he had seen back then. Xiao Yan ignored the Northern Dragon King. He controlled the purifying demonic lotus flame and circulated it once around Ziyan's body. All of the transforming dragon blood chi within her body was swallowed and vaporized. Only then did he slowly withdraw his palm. Ziyan's face recovered a little color after the transforming dragon blood chi within her body was scattered, but she still appeared extremely weak. Moreover, her body had slowly shrank in front of Xiao Yan's and Kai Lin's stunned eyes. Within a short moment, she had returned to that little girl appearance from back then. "I'm too weak. I can only recover in a form that saves the most amount of energy." Ziyan bitterly laughed and softly explained, "Haha, this appearance is much cuter." Xiao Yan rubbed Ziyan's small head and laughed. "Both Kai Lin and you should return. Leave this to me." Ziyan was slightly startled after hearing his words. She gently clenched her teeth and said, He is very powerful. I have never tried biting off more than I can chew." Xiao Yan laughed and replied. Ziyan suddenly sensed that Xiao Yan's strength had once again surpassed her after taking in his smiling face. A joy quickly rose on her small face. "Do you need any help?" Kailin softly asked by the side. If that transformed Northern Dragon King really possessed a strength similar to a 6-star Dosheng, just Xiao Yan alone. Worry flashed through her eyes while she thought to herself. He has yet to truly reach the 6-star of the Dosheng class. It is not impossible to beat him. Currently, there are still many members of the ancient Void Dragon tribe within this formation. You should intervene and rescue them while I hold him back. Otherwise, he will be able to devour the blood and do qi of these people as he wishes. Then, his fighting strength will maintain its peak. Xiao Yan shook his head slightly while appearing quite calm. Kailin was unable to say anything after hearing Xiao Yan's words. She immediately nodded, grabbed Ziyan, and moved her body, flying out of the range of the blood formation in the process. They appeared in front of those elders from the eastern Dragon Island. The elders hurriedly swarmed over upon seeing them leave the formation. Their faces were extremely anxious. If anything happened to Ziyan, the ancient Void Dragon tribe would never unite again. The Northern Dragon King did not intervene to stop Kailin and Ziyan from departing. From the way he saw it, the lives of those two had merely been extended. Once he finished Xiao Yan off, he would devour everyone present. A savage smile rose on the face of the Northern Dragon King after he thought about the joy from the soaring of his strength. Your blood and flesh has a strange scent to it. It is similar to that of the dragon phoenix, but it appears even more delicious. The Northern Dragon King's scarlet tongue was extended. He licked the blood on his face. A special excitement quickly rose within his eyes. He made a strange statement as he stared at Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan shifted his eyes. He was naturally aware of what the Northern Dragon King was saying. There were a total of 3 types of bloodline strengths within his body. This delicious taste should originate from them. However, Xiao Yan did not reply to the perverted desire of the Northern Dragon King. He lifted his hand, and a pink flame slowly spread from his body. The frighteningly high temperature vaporized the surrounding bloody do qi that was eroding him. The scarlet eyes of the Northern Dragon King focused when the extremely troublesome transforming dragon blood do qi was unable to even approach Xiao Yan's body. Although his murderous desire had surged after devouring many people, he possessed a ruthless and cautious nature to begin with. Hence, he remained alert even at this moment. Your body possesses the Dragon Phoenix bloodline. Coincidentally, you can have a taste of the dragon-slaying sword. The eyes of the Northern Dragon King flickered as he took a step forward. His body appeared a short distance in front of Xiao Yan with lightning-like speed. The huge blood-red sword in the Northern Dragon King's hand released a bloody stench that pounced into Xiao Yan's nose as it ruthlessly hacked toward his head. Yellow Spring Palm. Xiao Yan's body withdrew. He randomly threw out a yellow spring palm in the process, and the huge energy palm whistled forward. "Chi, this is nothing." The Northern Dragon King laughed upon seeing this attack. The huge sword containing a bloody do qi in his hand slashed down and hacked the energy palm into 2. After which, the body of the sword was swung. It unleashed 3 huge sword glows with lightning-like speed. They struck Xiao Yan like thunderbolts. The green-red bone wings on Xiao Yan's back were flapped to deal with the Northern Dragon King's sharp attack, narrowly dodging them. Before he could stabilize his body, the Northern Dragon King had once again ferociously pounced over. The attacks arrived one after another without giving him any time to catch his breath. The elders from the eastern Dragon Island outside of the formation felt a little anxious in their hearts after seeing Xiao Yan fall into a disadvantage. If Xiao Yan were to be defeated, the eastern Dragon Island would really suffer a great defeat. At that time, the crazy northern dragon king would attack again. The entire ancient void dragon tribe would likely be finished. Bang! Xiao Yan violently collided head-on with the northern dragon king amid these many anxious pairs of eyes. The blood within his body churned as he staggered dozens of steps back. He is indeed barely able to reach the 6th star of the Doshang class. A grave expression flashed across Xiao Yan's eyes as he suppressed the somewhat churning blood within his body. He was unable to obtain a great result with ordinary Do Qi while fighting opponent with such strength. I can try that technique? Xiao Yan's eyes slightly flickered. He quickly withdrew the aura all around his body. Both of his hands rapidly formed many extremely foreign seals. Little E within his body suddenly opened his eyes after Xiao Yan's hands began to move. His body quickly rose and paused between Xiao Yan's brows. The small hands of Little E formed the same seals as Xiao Yan at this moment. Xiao Yan, it is really wishful thinking by attempting to defeat this king with your strength. The Northern Dragon King coldly laughed as he watched Xiao Yan form the hand seals. He did not give Xiao Yan any time as the huge sword in his hand mercilessly slashed toward Xiao Yan's head while being accompanied by a sharp wind. Man and flame merger. Extermination fire body. The tiny fire lotus in Xiao Yan's eyes had begun to wildly rotate after Xiao Yan and Little Yi's hand seals stilled at the same time. Extermination-like monstrous aura, which caused everyone's expression to pale, suddenly swept from Xiao Yan's body like a storm.